Welcome back, Kingdom Builders. I am your host, Rudy Knapp, and this is Legacy Build Your Kingdom. Whether you're catching us on your morning commute or in the gym or during your quiet time, I'm honored to have you here. I just want to make sure you understand the appreciation I have for those listeners, however many there are, that actually listen to these podcasts with the content that I have and the perspective that I have. The whole point, once again, is to open your eyes to understanding different perspectives and also take some strategies, take something from this to help build your own life, build your kingdom. We are in a season of intentional growth. Over the last 2 weeks, we've been laying the foundation for true sovereignty. 2 weeks ago, we talked about setting sovereignty boundaries, those sovereign boundaries. The act of protecting your energy, your time, your inner circle so that you can operate at a peak capacity. Then last week, we dove into this currency of focus, understanding that where your attention goes, your life flows, and that your focus is the most expensive currency you own. Today, we're going to take those tools and we're going to apply them to one of the biggest thieves of our peace, the trap of expectations. We're going to talk about replacing expectations with gratitude. But before we dive in, I want to take a moment to celebrate. This new book, my new book that came out, Legacy Build Your Kingdom, a divine blueprint, command your purpose, secure your future, and leave a legacy for generational impact. It's officially out. It's officially selling. Please go get your copy. You can grab it right now on Amazon and Kindle. If you prefer to shop locally, you can go to your favorite bookstore, Barnes & Noble, and request it from their catalog. They can order it for you. And for those of you asking about the audiobook, I know a lot of people are. We're currently working through some technical difficulties, but I have to say, right before I started this podcast, I finally found someone that's going to read this audiobook the way that I want it to be done. And hopefully this will be a completed project within the next couple days here, and it will be on Audible pretty soon. I'm incredibly proud of this project, and I cannot wait for you to use it as your roadmap to building your kingdom. So let's get into this, this trap of expectations. In the legacy philosophy that I have, we talk about moving away from this LOST, this lost mindset. Being lazy, out of control, stagnant, and tortured. An expectation is often a resentment waiting to happen. A contract you sign with the universe that no one else agreed to. I'll give you a real life example. Recently, I had a day perfectly mapped out. A high output morning at my STEM school that I teach at. A specific workout schedule. A block of time for my whole book and marketing and getting things done for this book. I expected a perfect launch pad for the week. Then life happened. Unexpected issues at work derailed everything. I felt the heat, the out of control, the frustration, and I was letting my focus, the most expensive currency I have, drift into a void of what I lost rather than what I possessed. I let my focus leave and move to something that I don't control. So we need to take a deep dive into something that I like to call the 4 R's of restoration. Let's break these down so you can execute them under fire. When your expectations aren't met, we need to use the 4 R's of restoration. Number 1, reflect. We call this the audit. And if you read my book or you're getting my book or you've listened on this podcast, we talk a lot about auditing. So we're going to reflect. This is the pause. You must stop the emotional momentum. Ask yourself, is my expectation rooted in truth or is it my ego's need for control? You are looking for the gap between reality and your internal script, your narrative, as most of us will understand it as. We create a narrative. We are looking for the gap between real and our own narrative. Number two, the second R. It's called the release or the surrender. This is the hardest step. You acknowledge that you cannot force the world to bend to your will. When you release, you are actively choosing to let go of the shoulds. They should have done this. He should have acted like this. This is what should have happened. You surrender the outcome to gain sovereignty over your own spirit. That's powerful. Giving up control, surrendering. Step number three, the third R, called reset. This is the alignment. This is where you adjust your internal compass. You accept the new reality, the differences at work, the missed deadline, the change in your plans, and you realign your focus to the present moment. Given what is actually happening, what is the most sovereign next step I can take? Step number four, the fourth R, it's called respond. This is the action. Reaction is unconscious. Response is calculated. Now that you audited, released, and realigned, you act with intention. This moves you from tortured, that whole tortured state we talk about in Lost, into the creator state. I've applied this in my professional life when projects went sideways, when work didn't go my way, and in my personal life, like when my dad was helping me on a project or my car and working at his own pace on his time frame. I had to reflect on my own impatience, release my demand for my timeline, reset to appreciate his effort, and respond with appreciation rather than annoyance. This is very difficult. I went through the 4 R's and I had to check myself. Another quick story, releasing this book. We have high expectations of how we're valued from other people. We want other people to value us at the highest stake. The reason we want that is because as we want to be valued, we want them to value us the same way we would value them. It's just like saying, I want the same effort given to me in a relationship, in any friendship, any person. I want the same effort that I give given to me. So if I give this effort, I'm expecting those things back from me. This is very difficult. So when we come to this whole book and releasing, there is an expectation in your brain for who wants to buy your book. You're expecting close people to you, close friends, close family, to actually reach out and support you and purchase and pass it on and go out there and give you a nice review. Your book, just so we understand, and a lot of people that maybe don't understand this, and I didn't understand this going into this whole project, you don't really make a lot of money on a book. You know, my book sells for $19.95 on Amazon, and I get about $3.50. And when I say that, it isn't about money for me. This is about me getting something to those people in life that aligns with my purpose. It's about me giving back. It's about me listening to God and understand my purpose in life and helping others. Because I truly believe if you read that book and you listen to these podcasts, you will get some value. And you will also be able to apply that to your life and hopefully help some things, look at a different perspective. So again, the story goes like this. I have to check myself at times. And I have. I have looked at myself and said, even though I want to expect these things, and let's just keep this in mind, you can never eliminate expectation. You're going to have expectation in relationships. You're going to have boundaries you set. You're never going to eliminate expectation, but you can reduce expectation so that you replace it with gratitude. When you reduce expectation, what you're doing is not setting yourself up for being upset, for being disappointed. So we try to reduce this and replace. Tony Robbins said it the best. Reduce your expectation, replace it with gratitude, and you won't be hurt. So I know with this book, I am extremely grateful for every single person that has purchased the book, for every single person that has passed it on, my cousins that have put it on social media, my family. that has actually purchased a book and supported me. Whether you want to read this or not, my friends that have looked at it, that have opened the book, that actually started reading, giving some feedback, people that have read the entire book already, people that have given me nothing but praise. I am so gracious for this. I can't tell you enough. This is something about the message, not just about me. And I love that idea because I took this as a personal thing against me, and it's not. People have lives, people have their own time frame, and I have to remember that. I also have to remember that I can't always expect people to give if they don't have the capability of giving or if they don't want to give. I am still gracious for people in my life. I'm still gracious for any of those people that exist. So let's move forward. All of this leads to the circle relationship model. We've talked about this many times. It's in my book. Please get it because I think this helps many, many relationships. If you are a man, you need to read this. If you are a female, you need to understand this. So, this concept of circle, C.I.R.C.L.E, to keep these expectations in check, we use this circle relationship model from the book to understand how I can relate with somebody that I'm trying to relate with, whether it's my kids, whether it's my person, whether it's, my family. It starts with communication. See, are you being transparent and honest about your needs? Or are you hoping others just know? Are you straightforward? Are you very direct? Are you making sure they understand you when you speak? Sometimes we communicate and we speak, and the person does not understand us because it's the way we speak. Sometimes it's them not wanting to understand. They're not listening for understanding. Communication is a key in any relationship. Initiate. Don't wait for others to set the tone. Lead the way by starting the conversation or the action. Initiate. And I promise you, you will probably get initiation in return. It's not just one way, but you can start and set the tone. R, respect. Understand that others have their own sovereign paths and own perspectives that differ from yours. That's hard for us to understand. When they have a different perspective and it doesn't align with yours, we still have to stay in control and we still have to understand this by giving respect. C, commitment. Show up fully. If you're going to be in a relationship, professional or personal, be all in. Half ass doesn't work. Be all in. Not, we'll see how it goes. No, be all in. It's extremely important. L, love. Lead with a heart for others' growth. If you don't care about their success, you can't build a legacy with them. Think about that concept. If they hurt, you hurt. If they're bleeding, you're bleeding. That means it's together. It's one love. We hear the story about one love. We hear the music, the song One Love. It is about one together. And if you approach it as you're hurting and she's hurting, and it's not we are hurting, you are ruining the concept of love. E, endless effort. Building a kingdom isn't a one-time win. It requires the discipline to keep showing up, even when it gets hard. Endless effort is exactly that word, endless. It doesn't stop. It isn't a score. It isn't, I did all of these things and you did none of these things. If over time that exists, then you're not following the circle model. You're not being reciprocating what is actually happening in this relationship. That means it doesn't work. Circle is meant to be a circle, which means that it is reciprocal, which means you have to give and you receive. So, what does this all mean? This all leads to the gratitude pivot. So, how do we seal this? We do this with the gratitude pivot. We're changing beyond just finding things to be grateful for in the moment. I want you to adopt a daily prayer of gratitude. This isn't about asking for things, it's about acknowledging your divine positioning. Every morning, I practice a simple prayer. I just started doing this. I am grateful for the challenges that sharpen me, for the people who test my patience, for the sovereignty I have been given to lead my own life. Let my actions today be a reflection of my purpose, and let my focus be a currency that builds my kingdom. This is powerful. You probably have to read it. I still have to read it. I don't have it memorized quite yet. But I am going to tell you, it makes a difference in how this whole difference in how I approach life for the day. It is checking myself. It is making me understand that I can't act as if I deserve. I have to give gratitude as God, as Jesus would tell us to do. When we give gratitude for things, magic happens. We don't get upset. We approach things differently. When you start your day with that, your expectations have no room to grow into resentment. Think about that. How many things do we resent right now? When you start your day with that, your expectations have no room to grow into resentments. You are already anchored into what you possess rather than what you lack. You're focused on what you have instead of what you don't have. This week, when we feel that flash of frustration, stop. Execute the 4 R's. Audit the relationship using the C.I.R.C.L.E model. And start your day with a prayer of gratitude. You can also go to bed with that prayer as well. So we sleep sound at night. Remembering, just remember, building your kingdom isn't about perfection. It's about maintaining your sovereignty when things go sideways. Pick up Legacy Build Your Kingdom on Amazon today. Stay disciplined, keep your focus on what you can control, and leave a legacy that matters. Use this book as a guideline. One of the best things I've heard so far is this. This book, if you read it all the way through, it flows together and you will see that it talks about certain things previously in the book. When you get to things later on in the book, it refers back to. But it's also, when you're complete, when you decide, hey, something's going on in my life that I need to work on, you could go to a chapter and use it as a guide for you to get back on track in that specific topic. Oh, no, my physical is just not there. Let me go back to the physical pillar and let me read that chapter. They're quick reads, small chapters. Oh, wait, my relationship is struggling right now. Let me go to that relationship one. Let me reread that and see what strategies I can use to help me. Let me get some knowledge here so I understand, hey, this perspective might work. That's what I love about someone that gave me feedback on that. I love that concept because you can always use this book. You can go back and journal. You can go back and reflect. You can go back and use all of the strategies. Please pass it on to everybody else. Use the book. Get something from it. And just remember, build your kingdom, but never forget who you're building it for. I'm Rudy Knapp. I'll talk to you next week.